Hi everyone, good day. So now let's talk about creative writing nonfiction. Creative writing, in simple terms, is any writing that goes beyond the standard boundaries of professional, journalistic, academic, or technical forms of literature. Instead of just giving you fact or information, it focuses on imagination, emotion, and style. In other words, it is a true story told using the same techniques a novelist would use, like suspense, vivid descriptions, character development, and a strong voice. When we are writing, it says that if a textbook tells you how a heart pumps blood, the technical writing. If a poem tells you how a heart feels when it's broken, that's creative writing. In simple words, nonfiction is a writing that is based on facts, real events, and real people. Unlike the fiction, which is made up or imagined, nonfiction is a true. It is a primary goal is to inform, teach, and persuade or document the real world. Creative nonfiction is a branch of writing that combines the truth of nonfiction with the artistry of fiction. It is a thing called literature. To qualify as creative nonfiction, a piece of writing needs three things, which is the punctuality, literary craft, and the author perspective. When we say punctuality, is everything in the story must be 100% true. You cannot invent character, change dates, or make up event to make the story better. In literary craft, you use building blocks like imagery, metaphor, and dialogue to make the truth engaging. You aren't just reporting, you are storytelling. And last is the author's perspective, unlike a dry news report. And one of the examples of the story under the creative nonfiction is The Old Single Ladies by Rebecca Traister. Rebecca Traister is a prominent American journalist, author, and writer at large for New York Magazine, specializing in covering women in politics, media, and entertainment from feminist perspective. She is the best known for her acclaimed books on feminist history. Tracer places a great emphasis on women joining together in act of friendship and partnership that manifested in intellectual communion and an approach to each other's differences and choices rooted in love and duration. Such insistences on the part of women, Tracer has changed America. Powerful white men, on the other hand, approach the rise of diverse, expanding female life before and after World War I with much fear. So much fear, in fact, says all the single ladies that much of the backlash seems to have a visible stake in today's strain of misogyny and racism. The single woman's relationship to solitude, the single woman relationship to US cities and friendship between women is an innovative way to embody the book's emphasis on connection and transmission between generations of women rather than allowing them to be pitted against each other. The story of women in America, trace their states, has moved slowly and sometimes circularly, but largely in one direction, toward more freedom to participate in public, professional, and intellectual life. Approaching this book through a claim like this one also allows for variance and individual choice regarding any given issue to surface through the very particular lives of the women. In the story analysis, plot, the evolution of social movement tracer structure, the book by tracing the shape from 19th century spinster to the modern independent woman. And the characters are the real people, including herself. The creative nonfiction obtained includes the author's unique angle or emotional reflection on the event. In characterization, instead of listing their opinions, she described their living spaces, their vocal tones, and life choices. In the point of view, the story often used I to share her own journey. In the angle of the story, she argued that the delay of marriage has historically been the primary driver for women's rights, labor movements, and social change. In settings and atmosphere reflecting the tension between old traditional expectation and the new frontier of the female independence. In the dialogue reconstructed from her extensive interviews, by including the actual voices and specific phrases of the women she spoke. And the scene is in the dinner party in historical moment on a convention floor. And the figure of speech she used is the metaphor to explain the complex social shift. A major irony Tracer explores is that while society obtained Pete as the lonely single woman, in the story it has symbol and symbolism, which is the wedding ring symbolizes as contract or a loss of certain freedom, and the urban apartment symbolizes a room of one's own and self-discovery. And the other elements devices, which is the pacing, which is fast-paced historical summaries and slow meditative personal reflection, and the flashback, which is mirroring the struggle of the women in the 2010. And the theme is the transformative power of the single female life. Thank you for listening.